Okay, we've been to the Gulf Breeze Zoo more times than I can count. And if you have kids, this is one of those places that actually holds up every single time. There's a lot to do here, but there are a few things that make a huge difference depending on how you plan your day. This isn't one of those massive all-day zoos, and that's part of why we keep coming back. You can get through everything without feeling rushed, and it's just really manageable with kids. It's the kind of place where you can spend a few hours, see a lot, and not feel completely exhausted by the end of it. The first time I tried to get my husband to come, he was like, "I'm not going to the raccoon zoo," which, if you live in the Panhandle, you get it. But then he finally came, and now he's fully on board. So that should tell you something. We always go straight to the Budgies, every single time. It's chaos in the best way. You walk in, and within seconds, they're landing on you, climbing on the kids, and everyone's laughing.
Oh, another one!
They also just renovated this area, and it's so much better now. More open, easier to move around, and just better set up overall. And one thing I really like, they added more space for people to watch without actually going in. So if you've got younger kids who might be a little unsure at first, or even adults like my dad who are not trying to have birds all over them, you can still see everything that's going on without being inside the enclosure. And then once the kids warm up, they usually want to go in anyway. And as you come through this area, there are a couple little things my kids look for every single time. There's a kangaroo statue they have to climb on and get a picture with. Like, it's not optional at this point. And then there's a spot where they can see how far they can jump compared to animals like tigers and frogs. And they take that very seriously. It's small stuff, but it's the kind of thing that makes the whole experience more fun for them. One thing we always notice here, it's just really easy to do. It's not like the San Diego Zoo, which is beautiful but huge and hilly and more of a full day commitment. This is a completely different experience. The layout makes sense, the paths are easy, and you're not walking forever between things. With kids, that makes a big difference. The feeding experiences are a big part of what makes this zoo stand out. You're not just walking past exhibits, you're actually interacting with the animals. Feeding the giraffes is always a highlight.
One more!
And there are a few other animals you can feed along the way. It keeps things moving and gives the kids something to look forward to throughout the visit. And it also helps break things up so it doesn't feel repetitive. If you're planning to do a few of the feedings, the bundle is definitely the way to go. It usually includes lettuce for the giraffes, the sticks for the budgies, and then feed for animals like the goats, sheep, or camels. And at this point, the kids already know exactly what goes to which animal, which makes it even more fun for them. We've done it both ways, and it's easier and usually cheaper than buying everything one at a time. It just keeps everything moving. Another pro tip is that once folks are done with their budgie sticks, they have trash cans for them, or people kind of sometimes just lay them. If you don't want to buy a budgie stick, you can usually just go grab one. But, insider tip. And if you're local, the membership is a no-brainer. We've been so many times at this point, it pays for itself faster than you'd expect. Plus, you get about a 10% discount on things like animal feed, concessions, and gifts, and even discounts on some of the special events they do throughout the year, which adds up. The zoo is closed on Christmas Day and Thanksgiving, but outside of that, we've gotten a lot of use out of it. The train is something we usually do once or twice per visit. It's not the main attraction, but it's a nice break, especially when it's hot or the kids are starting to slow down. It's a good way to reset before heading into the next part of the zoo. And we also have a zoo train video, so I'll drop the link below. Be sure to check it out if you haven't yet, or if you have, check it out again. There's also a small park area, which is great for letting the kids run around for a bit. It helps break up the day so it's not just animals the whole time. And honestly, sometimes my kids want to start at the park, and I'm like, no, guys, let's go hit the zoo first, and then we'll come back. Food here is more about convenience than anything else, but they do have a good mix. You can get things like burgers and the usual stuff, plus ice cream and slushies. They also do the reusable slushie cups, which is nice. If you bring the cup back, you get a discount on refills. Don't be a muppet like me and put it in the dishwasher. It will melt and warp, and you'll have to get another one. And they do have drinks for adults too, so if you're making a day out of it, that's a nice option. Just make a plan to get home. It's just easy. You don't have to leave if you don't want to. They also do events throughout the year like Christmas, Halloween, and other seasonal things, so it's not the same experience every time you come. That's another reason we keep going back. And it's summertime, but my kids are asking for the Christmas bouncer right now. Okay. We also don't usually try to do everything all at once. We kind of let the kids lead a little, start with the budgies, hit a few feedings, take a break, and just move through it naturally. It makes the whole day feel a lot more relaxed.
I think it's time for the
And of course, you end up in the gift shop on the way out. It's also the exit. If you've got kids, just plan for it. You're not skipping it. They've got a really good mix of stuff. Plush animals, little souvenirs, and they even have a wagon area if you need one, which can be super helpful depending on how your day is going. They also have some local guides and things like that, which is a nice touch if you're visiting from out of town. I'm a local and I totally grabbed a whole handful of them the other day. It's an easy way to let the kids pick something to remember the day if that's your thing. But yeah, since it's the exit, you do kind of have to go through it. So if it's one of those meltdown moments, just be ready for that. And if you have the membership, you do get a discount there too, and that helps. Also, if you can, earlier in the day is usually a little better, especially in the heat of summer.
No, don't eat that. He's about to
And a couple other things we've learned after coming here so many times. Definitely bring water, especially in the heat, and don't feel like you have to rush through everything. This is one of those places where it's actually better to slow down a little, let the kids take their time, and just enjoy it. And honestly, some of the best moments end up being the unplanned ones, like stopping longer at one exhibit or going back to something they really, really liked.
Not easy. This one.
You're that one? The grizzly bear?
One, two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes. Melania, watch your step. There's budgies. Watch out. Watch out.
I got chickens in here.
What we keep coming back for is just how easy this place is. It's interactive, it's manageable, and there's enough variety that the kids don't get bored halfway through. It's great for families, but I've also come here on my own, and it's still a really enjoyable way to spend a couple hours. For tourists, it's a great stop. For locals, it's one you'll keep coming back to. And we bring family and friends here pretty much every time they visit. It's just an easy go-to. We keep coming back for a reason. Add this to the list, it's a good one. And if you want more Emerald Coast spots like this, follow along, we've got plenty.